Taking a page from the NFL, the NBA is releasing parts of its schedule in bits and pieces before the full and formal rollout at 3 p.m. Thursday. 4 Heat game dates and opponents were revealed Wednesday when the league announced the entire schedule for the NBA Cup, the early season tournament that ends with 2 semifinals and a championship game in mid-December in Las Vegas. The Heat's 4 group play cup games, in order, will be home against Charlotte at 8 p.m. on Friday, November 7th, at the Knicks at 7 p.m. on Friday, November 14th, at Chicago on Friday, November 21st at 7 p.m., and home against Milwaukee on Wednesday, November 26th at 7:30 p.m. The Knicks game will be carried exclusively by Amazon Prime Video, which is beginning an 11-year contract with the NBA. The other 3 games are expected to be carried by FanDuel Sports Sunday. All 30 teams were randomly drawn into groups of 5 within their conference based on their records last season. The Heat, Knicks, Bucks, Bulls, and Hornets are in Group C. 8 teams will advance to the knockout rounds. The team with the best standing in group play games in each of the 6 groups, and 1 wild card team from each conference. The wild card will be the team from each conference with the best record in group play games that finish second in its group. The semifinals and championship game will be played on December 13th and 16th, respectively, in Las Vegas. All NBA Cup games will count toward the regular season standings, except the championship. The Heat did not advance out of group play during the NBA Cup's first 2 seasons. The Lakers and Bucks won the first 2 NBA Cups. For ticket information on Cup games, go to https://www.nba.com/heat/NBACup. Adebayo update: Heat center Bam Adebayo, through his Bam Books and Brotherhood Foundation, delivered 300 brand new mattresses to students at the Seed School of Miami on Wednesday afternoon to fulfill a promise he made earlier this year during the school's legacy ceremony. After being honored at that event, Adebayo asked students what they would change if they could. Their answer was new mattresses. In partnership with City Furniture, Adebayo's foundation turned that request into a reality to help students begin the school year with a new bed. Tryouts scheduled. The Heat's G League affiliate, the Sioux Falls SD Skyforce, will host player tryouts September 28th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Kaseya Center. Skyforce coaches and Heat officials will evaluate players during the tryout. Applicants must be eligible to play in the NBA G League and must submit registration and health information forms along with a $200 non-refundable fee. The registration deadline is 5 p.m. September 27th. Now that the NBA has released the regular season schedule, it has been revealed when the Miami Heat will officially go face-to-face with the Kevin Durant trade that never happened. The Heat is slated to have its first meeting with the new-look Houston Rockets, which feature KD, on February 28th in Miami. It will offer the franchise an unfortunate reminder of the team's biggest what-if from the NBA offseason. I'm sure there are still Heat fans upset that the front office elected against going all-in during their pursuit of KD, but it probably will end up working out best for the team in the long run. KD was not going to solve any of the long-term issues the Heat have at the moment, and locking themselves into the luxury tax for the next few years for a team that is not guaranteed to compete for a championship wouldn't have been smart. And, to be perfectly honest, the Rockets made a lot more sense for KD anyways. Still, seeing KD in a Heat uniform would have been great. And it's going to go down as another big what-if for the Heat franchise. Soon, they'll get an up-close look at what could have been had they decided KD's juice was worth the squeeze. The Heat's new pivot will be under a microscope. But this off-season aside, no matter what you may think about missing out on KD, the Heat's new direction will certainly be under a microscope. Whether it's a genuine youth movement or a pivot toward pursuing another superstar in the near future, the Heat must sell the fan base that they know what they're doing and that they actually have a plan. That's been one of the biggest criticisms of the Heat's front office this summer, that the team doesn't have a legitimate plan for the future in place, and that they've been winging everything as they've gone. While there could be some truth to that, there has to be more going on behind the scenes, and the hope, at least from the fans' perspective, is that it will become to get more clearer this season, especially now that somewhat of a direction has been taken. Make no mistake, the Heat are in a position where they must win back the good graces of the fan base. Fair or not, That's just the reality that they find themselves in heading into the start of the 2025-26 NBA season. Norman Powell is preparing for his first season with the Miami Heat. He joined the franchise via a three-team trade that saw Kyle Anderson and Kevin Love leave Miami as a result. During a recent appearance on SiriusXM NBA Radio, Powell discussed the opportunity he has with the Heat next season. "I'm really excited about the opportunity that's in front of me," Powell said. "I think it's a clear opportunity that I've been fighting for and talking about. I talked about all last year about having the opportunity to be a focal point every single night, not just a high-value contributing role player, but really seeing myself and stepping into a role that I've always wanted." Powell will likely be one of the Heat's primary offensive options. He will slot into the starting rotation alongside Tyler Herro, who has assumed a much larger role within Eric Spoelstra's offense following the departure of Jimmy Butler around the February 6th trade deadline. At 32 years old, Powell knows what the NBA grind entails. Therefore, he appears to be under no illusion of the task in front of him. However, he appears to be remaining confident in the Heat's chances of being a high-level team next season. "I think we just have a great group of guys balanced through ages and championship experience between me and Wiggins," Powell said. "Being able to come in and have that veteran experience. I think it's a full opportunity of what I've been asking for my whole career. I know it's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be good days, bad days. I'm just looking forward to the opportunity of being a top team to contend with and make a deep playoff run." Heat's Powell is acclimating to life in Florida. Powell has been working out with the Jamaican national team in recent days. Practices are being held in Boca Raton, Florida. When speaking with Anthony Chang of the Miami Herald, Powell shared how being in Boca Raton is helping him get a head start on the acclimation process following his trade to the Heat. "It's getting me acclimated," Powell said. "It has been amazing to be welcomed here, being here in South Florida, checking into the hotel. People already know who I am and welcome me and are excited about me being on the Heat." Powell continued, "It's been amazing being traded to the Heat, being so close to where I'll be playing, and being able to go down there and go to the facility, look for a place to stay. It's definitely cool." Nevertheless, Powell's primary acclimation process will come during training camp and preseason. He must begin developing some chemistry with his new teammates ahead of the new season. Dwayne Wade pleased with Heat's addition of Powell. During a recent episode of his Time Out with Dwayne Wade podcast, Dwayne Wade praised his former team for the addition of Powell. "At this point of Norman Powell's career, Miami is the perfect place for him to get to that level that he was on the cusp of," Wade said. "That all-star level, being one of the best players. Like he said, once Paul George left, it opened up the opportunities more for him, and he shined." Wade continued, "Just a great competitor out there on the floor. That's what Miami loves. Miami loves competitors, and Norman Powell is that. That's another step in the direction that you want to see Miami turn to get this thing back on track." Powell had an impressive 2024-25 season with the LA Clippers. Now, the hope will be that he can carry that over into his debut campaign with the Heat. And while he'll likely have a different role to what he did under Ty Lue, there's every reason to believe that he will thrive in his new surroundings. Whether that will be enough to move the needle for Miami will remain to be seen. Andrew Wiggins spent 17 games with the Miami Heat last season, averaging 19.0 points for 0.2 rebounds and 3.3 assists during that time. Some people felt that he showed he could be a long-term part of the team, while others viewed him as simply a rental player who should be on the move soon. According to Brett Siegel, via Legion Hoops, the Heat were open to moving Wiggins, but only if they got an instant impact player and a first-round pick before 2028 in return for him. Wiggins is currently with the Heat, but this new rumor proves that the team is willing to ship him out for the right price. But will any other squad offer what the Heat want? Wiggins is a former number 1 overall pick and got his start with the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2014. After winning Rookie of the Year and spending several seasons with the T-Wolves, he moved on to the Golden State Warriors, where he won his first championship and also earned an All-Star appearance. His time with the Warriors was decidedly mixed, with him missing several periods of time on the court and questions about his commitment to the team repeatedly flaring up. When he was shipped to the Heat as part of the Jimmy Butler trade, a lot of people felt it would be a chance for him to start a new chapter with a team that needed him more. He hasn't had much time with the Heat, and now it seems clear that he could be leaving soon. The Heat obviously see him as expendable, so it could be just a matter of time before they do business with another team and trade Wiggins.